soon as we get in there. There we go. Bing, bada, boom. Lower this. There we go. All right, there we go. Pop in there real quick. Let me get Max in there. What's good, everybody? Good morning, good morning. Accepted. Okay, there we go. Let's make sure angle everything is good. There we go. Hold it. That'll just mute this. All right, there we go. We're live now. Then we're gonna get Max in here.
God damn, that thing's going right.
There we go. You catch Max right there. Good morning, ladies. Now you're bringing in the ladies real quick. Okay, there we go. Top of the morning. Let's just make sure our angles are good to go. So I need the AirPods. I knew it was gonna happen. I did, but it's muted here too, so it's still gonna happen because one. I'm gonna get my AirPods in here, make sure we're good. Max, you good like that, or are you gonna go from yours?
I'm good. I'm about to, yes.
Thank you. Top of the morning, May. We're gonna get this conversation started, so everyone just do me a favor, send this out to 5 people you care about. Hopefully this locks in right away. Good morning, ladies are coming in. There we go. All right, now we're good to go. Tessa, London. Just make sure you fit in my brother Max. Once I get him in there, then we're good to go. There's my brother Max. All right, kings and queens are coming in. I love it, I love it, I love it. You just gotta mute yours. That one right there. No echo. Okay, we're good to go. All right, top of the morning. Now you have myself, MC Ebone.
London.
Max.
All right, guys, and this is Motivation Mondays. This is a Mother's Day special. So first of all, happy Mother's Day. Mother's Day every day.
Every day.
You know
Every day
what I
is
mean?
our
But
day. Yes.
the world says yesterday was the day that we have to acknowledge all you guys. So first of all, how was your Mother's Day?
My Mother's Day was really good. I spent the day with my family. What I usually do on Sundays. You know, we go to church, dinner, and then we just lounge around the house.
Okay, nice. Yeah. Max, how was your weekend?
What happened this weekend?
Got a haircut. You got. I see. I see him in the chair. I was pissed. This guy coming fresh on Monday.
You know, self-care. You know, you always gotta feel good, be good. You know, so the weekend I enjoy myself. You know, so trying to get back in my routine and having my Sundays to myself. So
it's been a minute since.
It's been a minute since that happened, but we're trying to get back in routine for the summer.
Let me get Wavy, if you can do me a favor. Actually, I'll try to do it myself. Put the topics in there. Let me try to get Max back in here. Technology be acting up sometimes, but it's all good. I'm gonna put in our topics of the week and then put in everybody's Instagram so that you guys can get a chance to actually know who you're speaking to. And you know, thanks for coming through this Monday.
No problem. Always a pleasure.
I think that, you know, we're 2 men, we're 2 males, so we can't always speak on the male's perspective. We need the women's point of mind to be able to, you know, speak to the others. And as you can see, all the women are here. Live and direct. Women aren't late. I see. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let me put this in. But first of all, introduce yourself to the people. Let them know who you are, and then we'll start the conversation from there.
My name is Tessa, but everybody knows me as London. I am a mother. I have a son. His name is Mark Anthony. He's going to be 12 this year.
Serious name. No, Mark Anthony's a serious name.
Yeah, he's an amazing kid. You know, and it made Mother's Day feel, you know, so special, especially because I feel like this far being a mother has been, you know, my greatest accomplishment. Even though I've done so many things in my 31 years next week on Earth, I feel like being a mom has, it's an unexplainable feeling. To be a great mother is an unexplainable feeling.
So you said next, are you still a Taurus?
Of course. I'm
sorry. I just have to make sure the timestamps are correct. But you know, we're in Taurus season, so shout out to all the Taurus.
Yes.
Are you excited?
I am excited.
Max always talks about when we were getting older ages. Actually, you say, I don't want to quote it wrong, but Max always talks about when your birthday comes, the new age. My bad. I might be putting on the spot. I know you have a lot of
Go ahead. That's what we talked about. But yes, go ahead.
Age is just a number. Like, it's a reflection to see how far that you've come. So usually a lot of people dread when we're getting older. But, I'm like in the 30s right now. I don't know. I'm loving it.
It feels good, especially to be in your 30s and being able to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish in life. And a reflection of your life is a reflection of how you've mastered, or maximized your time.
100%.
So if you're in your 30s and you can't see what you've done the time that you've been on earth, then you can run into a problem or two. But if you're in your 30s and you're ambitious, you're living in purpose and your passion and you're happy with life, then you're good to go.
Perfect. And that's why we're here to have this conversation, because even if you're in your 30s or 20s or 40s and you're listening right now and things may not be where you want, it's never too late.
Oh, it's never too late.
It's never too late. So, this is a platform where we keep it real. We talk about the pros, cons, good, bad, educating yourself, understanding yourself, purpose, passion, and finances. And when we went to Atlanta, we did the live-a-thon, and you came through and you blessed us with a little bit of your presence, and now we have you here in the studio.
Yes.
Everything in its timing. So welcome to the studio.
And it's beautiful. I felt good coming here today. I'm like, I have to put on my good dress.
Yeah, I'm saying, you come everything correct. Okay, perfect. Let me pin our topics. But today's episode is about being a mompreneur.
Yes.
And I know the women are gonna love it. That's why we see it. Your tourists are coming through with Bull Gang, okay?
Gang.
Shout out to all you guys. But it's not easy being a mom.
No,
and it's definitely not easy being a mompreneur, an entrepreneur.
No, it's not easy at all.
So give us a rundown of a day in the life of London.
I'm just blessed that my son is not as active yet. He's a very modest kind of child. He doesn't really require much, which gives me a break to maximize my potential as an entrepreneur. And I have great help with him. So it's not much that I have to kind of sacrifice as far as my time, giving to finding out how much of my time I can give to my business, how much of my time I can allot to him. Most single moms, and I say single because I'm not married, but his father is in his life and we co-parent very well, but he's not in the country. So it's kind of difficult for me to raise a boy child. Thankfully enough for myself, I have brothers, I have men in my life that are very influential, and my son he's amazing. He's like an old man. He's 11 but he's like 30. The conversations that we have, they're very mature, they're very we talk about everything. He knows about everything. There's nothing that he can bring home to me that we haven't already spoken about. So the journey has been it's been a peculiar one because I feel like with him turning 12, I'm just really learning how to properly parent well. It took a long time. Being a mother is not easy, and you learn things every day, and him being a 5-year-old and him being an 11-year-old, they're two totally different persons. His diet, the things that he wants, he changes his career every other day, but as he changes, I have to change with him. As he evolves, I have to evolve with him. So I would definitely say that I find a challenge trying to keep up with who he is and who he's about to be, as well as myself, because I'm still evolving as well. So I'm still learning him, he's still learning me. It's like a relationship, it's like a marriage, you know what I mean? They say you never really get to know someone until you physically live with them, you're around them all the time. And I feel like that's kind of how parenting is. You have to dedicate everything to getting to know that person, getting to know what they want, what they like, what they don't like, because you don't want to overstep. Even though he's a child, I still respect him, you know what I mean, as a child. I ask him, I don't speak at him, I speak to him. So we have more conversations than anything else.
Say less. And I should listen to the man and I see Daddy's making sure you had a conversation, but he wants to make sure you're live and direct.
Yes.
There's something about, you talked about coming from another country, and his dad is in another country. And I always talk about Max because it seems like the people who were born in other countries, you guys come here and you just come with the willpower to just take over.
Yes.
And we're here, the spoiled ones who are blessed into this country. We don't really see how much of a blessing it is to be here. But I guess, Max, you can speak because I wasn't born in another country. You were.
It's funny you bring that up because I think I just found out the answer this very morning when I was in the gym, and the answer is necessity. And that's what drives us, those who were, I guess, first generation immigrants, is that the idea that we know what it is like on the other side, you know, not to take anything from those who were born here, but most of us don't know about the daycare programs and the after school programs. Like you see all these videos and you're like 5-6-year-old and you're basically a mother to your younger siblings because you're older. Your parents have to go out and provide for the family. So you see this other side of the world, and then you get here and you see all these opportunities, and like it's a big difference. Some of these things are kind of like taken care of. So the need to want more, the necessity to actually improve your life, and I think that's what it takes. That's the only slight difference. That's what I always tell people: if you have a chance to go back home or even see the other side of the world, go do it. You know, experience it and see how it could change your life.
And I agree with that, because 2017 when I went back, like to even go see where my parents came from, where they met, church, I was just like, whoa. And that literally is where I started. I remember I told myself I was gonna start muting people on social media, and then I turned on, they just gave us the post notification on Snap. So I turned on Max's post. So every post that he went, that was the first one I saw. And literally that's why we're here right now. Literally it was like a domino effect. But I rate it because even when I asked you about the give me a day of the life, the mom part seems like so much already.
Yeah.
Like you saying that, I was like, oh my goodness, we haven't even gotten to like work the shop, making sure we haven't even gotten to that, but that sounds like a lot. So to our ladies, we appreciate you. Kudos to you guys. We understand the cape that you guys wear. Sometimes you may not get acknowledged for it, but we do see it from afar. And even if we're not saying it all the time, trust me, when we talk about it, we realize. So give us some time, you know, just a little patience to understand it. But yes, Motivation Mondays. Let's take it back to when you're back home. Did you envision what you're doing right now?
No, not at all. I was a nurse back home actually for 6 years. And so I did that for the Ministry of Health. I worked at like polyclinics. I worked in the prison infirmary. I worked at the hospital. I did a number of things. I owned businesses back home as well. Some of the same things that I'm doing here, I did back then, but obviously it's on a totally different scale now, you know, and it's more respected. And I feel like a lot of people that come from another country and they migrate somewhere, whether it be here or the US, whatever it is that they're doing, I feel like it's better received and it's more appreciated, and people put a value to exactly what you bring. But when you come from a place, they don't really appreciate it until they see you somewhere else and they see the way that other people look at you and appreciate you. So I feel like a lot of that for me is going on now, even though you know, when I was back home, it was the beginning stages for me. I was, you know, just getting into business, just learning how to properly be a business person. And I feel like the more I evolve, you know, there are still a lot of things that I can learn to help me to become a better person in a personal aspect and in a business aspect. But coming from back home and coming here, there was definitely like a super fire for me to be great. And I don't see myself being anything else other than that.
No, I must assume that when you got here, you kind of had a game plan of what you're gonna do.
I didn't.
No, okay, let's get into it. See, sometimes I that's the raw. That's why I assumed. I didn't want to say it, but the way your life is looking right now, you would have sworn there's a game plan.
Prior to moving to Canada, I knew nothing about this place. I never even knew Canada existed. I didn't know what it was. I was very familiar with the States because I went to boarding school in the US. That's where I graduated school. I went to university there, and then I moved back home to the Bahamas. My plan was to finish college in the US, but then I ended up getting pregnant with my son. So my plan had to obviously change. However, I went through a situation back home, and I think I spoke briefly about it when I was on here the first time. And I still won't go too much into it because it's the past, you know what I mean? But it's definitely what made me who I am today. And I don't hide it, you know, even when I'm in a personal setting with my clients and they ask, you know, why here? Why not the US? I feel like oftentimes I get into conversations with people here and everybody's so eager to be in the US, but I see so much opportunity here and I get turned off because I'm like, you're in a place where there's so much opportunity. The government helps you so much. I don't think you can go anywhere in the world and find the opportunities that are given to the citizens here. So me coming from, you know, the island, somewhere that's so small with so much limitations on who you can be, what you can be, and what you can have. And coming to a place like this, it's like all I want to do is eat all day. I don't see anybody in my way. Anything I want, anything I need to have, anything I deserve to have, I'm gonna go and get it. You know what I mean? When I came here, I was actually homeless for the first 5 months. And that was just 3.5 years ago. You
Crazy.
know what I mean? So me in 2022, I'm still learning how to, you know, maneuver my way around here. I'm still trying to find ways to, you know, get it a better way, you know, but everything that I went through in my past and in my transition, it definitely molded me into what I am today. And I'm not ashamed of it. I speak about it all the time. And going back to what I said about me being in personal settings with people and they ask me, you know, why did I come here? Why did I choose to come here? I flat out tell them, you know, why I chose this place. And I like to give them a little bit about my past so that they can appreciate the service and the experience that they're getting from me.
I love that. And there's two things you talked about, the opportunity here. And I want people to know two of the biggest music labels, which is EXO. And if you know about OVO, who just signed another crazy 500 million deal with Universal, they started and they become some of the biggest artists in the world. And they always thank Canada for the grants. So I'm gonna use this time. If anyone's looking for grants, no matter what city you're in, Toronto.ca, Brampton.ca, Mississauga.ca, you type in grants, there's about, I think there's like 15,000 grants. So there's so many platforms and there's so many ways. Yeah, you're gonna have to search it up, look at the criteria. Not everyone you may be able to get, but start looking and start finding, because Canada provides so much stuff for us. Entrepreneurs looking to start a job or a career path. Like, there's so many opportunities. So let's take advantage, because we look at OVO, EXO, some of the biggest, they took advantage of these grants and now been able to take that money, turn it into an investment to themselves, and now they're one of the, you know, the biggest artists and biggest record label companies in the world. So when you're able to land the opportunity and seize it and take full advantage of it, so much can come out of it.
Most definitely.
Max, there's something she talked about when it talks about people looking at results. Why do people care so much about results in order to hear somebody or listen to somebody or to care about what they're doing?
Well, it creates possibility. I mean, everything that we put work into, when it receives something out of it, or else what meaning would it have? Like, you know, if we just got to the end of the road, there's nothing, there's no pot of gold, then why else would we continue on that journey, right? And sometimes you have to see other people do it to know that it's possible for us. And she mentioned she came here with no plan, which now there's somebody that watched this that's probably trying to figure out life. Like, what do I do? Where do I start? And you just heard it from her mouth herself that just 3 years ago she didn't have a plan, right? But I'm sure now she has a plan, which I'm going to ask you. I'm sure now she has a plan about what it is that she wants for herself and creating a better future for herself. So sometimes it takes other people for us to envision what we want for ourselves, because it's difficult for us to see the light when we've been in a dark place, either through our past, right, dealing with depression, and then when we look forward to the future, we deal with anxiety, right? So these are some of the reasons why sometimes we need to look upon our peers and those around us to know that it's possible, and that's what seeing other people results create for us.
Well said, and I can't wait to chop that up, put that on YouTube, which ladies need to let everyone know we're live on YouTube as well too, so you can head to the YouTube stream, Motivation Mondays Live. We get on live just to let everybody know what's going on in the conversation, but we encourage everybody to get onto the YouTube, because that's where we're trying to build. It's funny that we're talking about building, because, you know, as we started this, I remember when there was a conversation where we were like, you know, Wavy would be like, yo, we got to get on YouTube. And now we're consistently on it, couple thousand views on some of our videos. And we're getting consistent and bringing in the right team members to help us elevate and grow. So shout out to Blessing the Cut, you know what I mean? But we're trying to build this and grow, because everything is not easy. We need everybody. You can't do anything alone. And I'm pretty sure House of London, the way you talk about your staff and the team, you praise them on a daily. And I know you know that you wouldn't be anything without them.
No, those are my girls, honestly. I have a team now of 13 girls, excluding myself, and I feel like they are one of the reasons I get up and I show out every day. You know, even on days when there's nothing going on, we still come together. We celebrate birthdays together. We celebrate accomplishments. We cry together. We go through so much together, you know. And I feel like everything I do is because of them. I have to keep on because of them. Even through the pandemic, it was super hard for us, hiding from the police, the neighbors, the city. You know what I mean? You know, but it's definitely worth it. And they're booked and busy, and I'm proud of them, you know. And if I tell them that every day. We have a group chat. We share motivation every morning, and I make sure that they're good to go, even on days when I don't feel like pushing. I feel like it's my responsibility to carry the flag and to make sure that as the head, that everybody else is good.
And you talk about that, it's like, Max, like, I'm back in the gym now just because of this guy. Like, I'm not gonna lie, one day he posted some gains, and I was like, yo, I see the growth. I'm like, bro, nah, I'm jumping right back in.
And just before we jump on live, somebody tagged both of us in a shout out Jay. He said he's in the gym right now. Sometimes you just need that, teamwork makes the dream work. If you want to get somewhere, like I mentioned before, if you want to get somewhere fast, go by yourself. If you want to get far, go with a team, right? Because eventually the obstacle will come that's much tougher than you, and you're gonna quit. There's days where I feel like I don't want to go to the gym, right? But you set the bar higher, and then the expectation, what people expect from you, to keep you pushing. So you're gonna need people, right? If it's up to you, you're gonna quit, right? Because if it's up to you, you're just like, yeah, it's only me anyways. I'll just go to bed. I'll just cancel. So when you have a team, like you just mentioned, a team of 13, there's a whole lot of accountability. I know there's days that she just mentioned. There's days that people on the team may not feel like, I don't feel like doing nothing.
Yeah.
But they know that 12 other people are counting on me, right? I gotta show up. On my worst day, I gotta show up and put a smile on my face. And those are the days that the character builds the most out of you, right? Those are the days that count. If I tell anybody to remember most memorable times in their past, it's usually attached with some type of emotion. Not a day when everything went well. It was the days when they were down and they came out of it. It was the days when they felt like not doing anything, and eventually they got up, laced up their boots, and do what it is that they need to do.
And I love that. And I want to roll the red carpet for you right now to talk about House of London, the company, the business that you've been able to build, what services, and then we'll get into the nitty gritty of what you do and how you're able to do that.
When I started House of London, well, actually, House of London has been developing for 12 years now. I started it back home in my living room, and then I moved here, and then I was working out of salons, and then, I partnered with somebody. They invested in my dream, and they helped me to open up my storefront. And when I opened it, I had 2 stations, one for me, one for my assistant, and I had room to teach. And now I have a staff of 13 girls offering services, and I'm now helping them to develop their platform so that they can also be educators. Because I don't want to do this forever, you know what I mean? I feel like my time is it's expiring. it's
12 years of doing something is lying.
Yeah, but 12 years of going hard, and I didn't get my storefront until the 10th year, right? The 10th going into the 11th year. So it's like this season of my life is called the slow cooker.
Explain that. I want to hear this.
I journal a lot. I journal every day, actually, twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day. I'm very consistent with my journaling because, I document every single moment of my life, because I like to go back and look at it to see, like, what have I asked God for? What have I put out into the universe that I wanted then that I have now, or that I'm on my way to getting, or what didn't I do to, achieve the things that the places where I would like to be right now and I'm not, right? In my past, I made a lot of decisions on impulse. I'm a very impulsive person. We like things fast, microwave, and you follow Instagram, you see people doing super well, you see people out there, not even on Instagram, you meet people that have this, have that, and you feel like you want those things. And me, I feel like I can have anything that I want or I need to have, I feel like I should have it. So if I need to do anything to get that, I'm gonna do it. Once it doesn't mean me compromising myself, my life, my health, putting myself or my family in danger, I'm on it, whatever it is. But I had to take a step back at the end of last year and really evaluate, where I've come from, where I am, and where I want to be. And I had to make some really big decisions to help better myself and my platform for not only my followers. I feel like I'm more responsible for the people that follow me too, because I've grown a following of 10-point-something K followers in just 3 years, you know what I mean? And they're all authentic followers. So obviously I'm giving out something that people need, Last year, I deactivated my Instagram. I was going through something and people were super concerned. They were like, where's London at? Calling my mom's phone, calling, my friends, trying to figure out like what was going on. And I'm like, that was a super selfish move of me, because even on the days that I don't feel like doing it, I feel like God has placed a super special calling on my life. And I went through everything that I went through for people, not for myself. You know what I mean? And this season of my life is called a slow cooker because, you know, I want to take my time. I want to make better decisions. I want to take time and cure the things that I want to have. And, you know, it's no reason for me to be moving fast. Anything that's for me is out there waiting on me. And I had to take a minute to realize that, because to be honest with you, everything that I could ask for and want in life, I have it. Everything is not about money. At the beginning of the year, my friends and I sat down and they asked me, like, what are your plans? You know what I mean? What are your goals for this year? And I have none. I have no goals for this year. I have no plans. The only thing I want to do is be free, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. That's it. I don't have any plans. Whatever God has for me, whatever the universe has for me, I'm open for it. But I'm at peace in my mind and in my spirit and in my body. Physically, I'm well. I have perfect mental health. You know what I mean? I'm happy with the things that I have. My family, my businesses, you know, the people that are around me. I cherish my relationships. And I feel like we're so caught up on getting the bag and getting to you know, the money, that we forget that there are so many more things that are important to us. You know, at the beginning of the session, Max asked me, what are 3 words that mean the most to me? And, you know, it could only definitely be faith, family, and business, you know, in that order. I'm super strong in my faith, and I believe that I am who I am because God has placed a special calling on my life. And I realized that I am the one person in my family that God has blessed to take them to another level. And when I say family, I don't just mean my blood. I mean the people that watch me on Instagram. Every girl that walks through the door at my store, every student that walks through the door at my school, they mean something to me. And I feel like someone told me the other day that I need to stop being a yes man, but being a yes man is what got me this far. You know, I'm not the mean girl or the stush girl. People look at me on Instagram, and when they meet me in person, they're so surprised of the energy and the way that I am, you know? And I feel like a lot of times people lose out on their blessings because of preconceived notions. They develop a thought or a theory in their mind about, and a perspective about something or a situation, and they miss out. They hold themselves back from something because we overthink a lot. And a lot of times the first thing we go to is negativity when it's not even that, you know? But I can definitely say that anyone that I've ever come into contact with, whether it's the girls that work with me or, you know, it's my clients or my students, I'm hell bent on making a positive impact in their life. I want to know, you know, about your kids, about your relationships. I want to know, do you have business plans? You know what I mean? Who are you? Because I make connections for longevity. And nothing I do is short term. I don't like quick stuff. Anything quick, I don't want it, you know? And it took me having to go through things in my life to get to this point where I am today. How I was talking on here the last time is not the same way that I'm talking now, you know? And that's growth, that's elevation. And I see it in myself, as well as my followers see it on me as well, you know? So I'm responsible for myself, I'm responsible for my family, and I'm responsible for the people that follow me and that look up to me, especially because of what I went through in my life.
I love it. I'm going to pass this to Max, because one thing I love about everything you're talking about is you hold yourself accountable. And that's sometimes, I think, the fight that we have as human beings when things are going wrong, or that we don't hold ourselves accountable. Why is it happening? And you know, you learn from it. But I'm gonna let Max take it away.
Guys, to the home viewers, I know we talk about it. Don't trust your memory. Write it down. She also mentioned general. We're gonna get into it. So you saw me typing away here, just because she was saying so much, I have to keep track. So there's a few things. One thing I do want to mention. She mentioned she does not have goals, and me personally, I think she does when it's about understanding self. Right? It may not be the tangible goals that we assume people should have. Maybe wanting this amount of money. Maybe wanting to get here. But you know, when we talk about understanding self, she talk about being at peace, personal growth, right? Not having to worry, right? The spiritual growth that we all need, right? So we always gonna say all these type of things that we want for ourselves, and what is it gonna take, right? It doesn't necessarily mean I want $1 million. I think we get caught up, like she was saying, we get caught up in wanting some of these fast things, and you know, and we always talk about it. Be careful who you become in pursuit of what you want, right? That's so deep. I'm gonna say that again. Be careful who you become in pursuit of what you want. Right? So you might want $1 million and you might lose yourself, and then it means nothing, right? That's why you hear all these stories about money doesn't equal happiness, or once you get the money, you lose yourself. And that's where those things stems from. And she's saying in this part of our life, being a slow cooker, we all know it. You gotta let it marinate. We're tired of that microwave food. Y'all been part of a dinner. Anybody that been a chef or anything, y'all know when your mom, your grandma makes that food, you know what tastes better? The food that was marinated overnight.
Yep.
That's the real meal, not the microwave, not the one that was done an hour ago. We all know the season that was marinated overnight. That's what we talk about, being a slow cooker. Like, let it marinate, right? And get the most out of your day. There's so much thing that she said. Also the journal, right? Those people who haven't got your notebooks yet for Motivation Mondays, let us know. But right now, your journal, you know, what did you get out from the day? Right? Evaluate yourself. There's so much things that goes on that we can't remember. Right? And that's all I was typing away, because she said so much that if I just trust my memory, I would have forgotten it. And I'm sure a few of you guys forgot. You probably have to go back and play this back. But do not trust your memory. Don't use your mind as a filing cabinet. There's a process, there's a 3-stage process, right? For your brain to recover memory. You gotta storage it, you gotta encode it, and you gotta retrieve it. In a matter of seconds, any kind of interception between these 3 steps, your memory goes away. Like, I know I'm getting to some cognition conversation here, but do not trust your memory, right? Write it down. What happened to you today? What did you want from the day? And then tomorrow you're gonna have a better day. To dissect it. Treat yourself like you're somebody you're responsible to help. And that's what it's about. Be that person that you're responsible to help. Because we all have advice for people, you know, how you should handle this, but we don't have the advice for ourselves, because we don't know how to abstract who we are from what it is that we're doing. So we got to write down what it is that we're doing. And then she talked about her journey, right? It took 10 years for her to get the storefront, starting from where she's at home. There's people that want to start businesses, but they want that grant, which Ebon said earlier, where to find that grant. They want to start that business. They want to have everything intact before they get it. It's never the right time to make a harder decision, right? It's not gonna get easier when you have that 100,000 to open that store for. You gotta start where you are with what you have. Have the humility that although things are not aligned, this is who I am, and this is what's gonna take for me to get where it is I wanna get to. So her journey overall is amazing. She talked about faith, family, something that gotta keep you going as a business, right? And I just love her not focusing too much about the tangible stuff, the money, not wanting to be something, but being at peace, right? You could start a business and let those things mean something to you, right? And although that people on her team, it's about having a strong core team member as part of the team, meaning something to her, doesn't necessarily mean it has to involve with money. It's about self-love. It's about growth, right? Like she said, from the last time she came on our show till now, she's a totally different person. We're talking about it. Learn, study, grow, teach, right?
I love that, and you know our slogan is you versus you, making the uncle cool while realizing it's you versus you. And I think you understand that. That's that when you get to understand everything. Trust me, I just went through it the other day. Like now I'm going to the gym. I'm like, yo, what's wrong with me? Yeah. Like this stuff is so like you gotta literally wake up and just go say you're gonna do it, and nobody else is gonna pick yourself up and go do the things that you want to do but yourself. So you gotta but you gotta get to a place. Like
you gotta respect the process, you know. Respecting the process is respecting the dream, the goal. You know what I mean? If you don't have respect for yourself or the things that you know, or your endeavors, then there's nothing. Then you may as well not do it. You know what I mean? People want things so fast, but what's getting it fast gonna do for you? Me, I appreciate my process. I appreciate everything about it. The hard times, the good times, every single moment of it, I appreciate it. And I wouldn't go back and change anything. I tell my girls all the time, you know, like, it's important for you to be a good follower so you could become a perfect leader. I followed for a very long time, a super very long time. And then in every job that I've ever had, in any capacity, I always did my very best, you know, until I could be someone else or be somewhere else. But I always appreciated where I was at until I could get to where it was that I wanted to be. And I think that's one of the most important things that we miss and we don't like to hear, you know? We just want everything fast. We want it right now. Why can't I come in and open up something and be just as good as you, or my business be just as booming as yours? Because you didn't go through the process. I always tell people the entrance fee for success is embarrassment. You got to be willing to sacrifice your emotions and your feelings, you know? This generation, we're too touchy. Everything, you know, we're getting offended at. Sometimes you got to put your feelings in your back pocket and sit on it. You know what I mean? You can't just be touchy about everything. Everything we're offended at. If you walk around with your feelings on your wrist all day, then how are you going to get forward? You can't. You have to learn how to see and don't see, hear and don't hear. And most importantly, mind your business. You know, we're not
Drink
accustomed,
your water and mind your business.
We're not accustomed to minding our own business. We're in everybody else's business other than ourselves. Which is why, like, even in my workspace, because I spend most of my time there, I don't allow conversations about other people. I don't allow conversations about other stylists because we don't care. That has nothing to do with us. Now, if you have something personal you need advice on or you want to vent, because, you know, hairstylists, service providers in general, we're like, what do you call it? Therapists, right? We're therapists without the license, you know what I mean? So, but we always mind our business. And I feel like minding my business is what's gotten me so far. If it doesn't have anything to do with me, I don't need to know about it. I don't need to hear about it. If we're talking about growth, if we're talking about, you know, how we could do this better, if you have some good advice for me, some constructive criticism, I'll take it with a grain of salt. But if it doesn't have anything to do with me becoming a better person or my business becoming better, I don't want to hear it. I stay far away from negativity or anything that doesn't have anything to do with me bettering myself as an individual in a personal capacity or in a business capacity. And that's very, very important.
I love it. It's 11:13, so at 11:11, the world has made it a thing. Make a wish, we make an affirmation on Motivation Monday. So I'm gonna say our affirmation of the day, and then I want to hear you break it down, and then we'll have a discussion. So our affirmation of the day today is: I am an achiever, and I'll pursue my goals until I succeed. I am focused and committed to my goals. I deserve success, and I'm ready for it. I'm intelligent and hardworking. Nothing can stop me from being successful. I'll repeat that one more time for our people one more time. And this is the affirmation I want everybody to say out loud. And then I'm going to ask London to break it down for us. So once again, I am an achiever and I'll pursue my goals until I succeed. I am focused and committed to my goals. I deserve success and I'm ready for it. I am intelligent and hardworking. Nothing can stop me from being successful. So when you hear that affirmation, what comes to mind?
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
I like that.
You know, one thing for sure is I'm always ready. I stay ready. I'm ready for anything. Whenever, any time of the day, whatever, I'm always ready. You know, I start my day at 6 a.m. and I dedicate 6 to 10 to anything. You know what I mean? After 6 p.m. is my family time. Don't bother me. You know? I feel like you are what you think. If you think you can be something, you can be that. Right? And people always say, you know, show me your friends and I'll show you your future, right? Me, I have 6 friends in my circle and all of them are just like me. We're all entrepreneurs, we're mothers, some of them are married, some of them are, you know what I mean, off doing other things. But when we come together, we're all sharing the same goals. The conversation is super hype. I get excited to go for drinks with my girls because I know that, you know, at the end of this conversation, I'm gonna get something from it. So it's important to inventory your association as well. You gotta put people where they are. And I feel like, you know, in my past, I kind of had problems with my relationships with people because I always want better for the people around me. You know, I always want to see my people doing good. And I could be kind of aggressive sometimes because I want to force, you know, that narrative on them. You look at people's lives and you see things for them that they cannot see for themselves. And it kind of makes them feel like, you know, who are you to tell me I should be doing this or I should be doing that? But that's just me wanting better for you. I do the same thing for my girls, you know. Sometimes I know they ignore me because I feel like they get agitated because I push things on them. But that's because I need you to do better. I want better for you. I know you can be better. I see things in you that, you know, your friends may not tell you because they don't want you to be better than them. And I too have experienced that in the past where, you know, people knew they could help me. They could, you know, they could tell me better. They could teach me better. But I feel like I taught myself every single thing up to this point in my life. And I even mentioned it to Max the other day. Like I've been winging it my entire life. I don't really have concrete information on how to do this thing. You know, whether it's life, being a mom, doing business, I pretty much just, you know, winged it. Or, you know, I'm going based off the things I see my mom do or the people in my life, but I don't have a manual. I'm definitely writing the script every single day as I go along, which is why I journal so much. And I found myself kind of losing the importance of who I was and where I wanted to be because I was so busy on chasing this success. And I had to take a step back and fix me in a personal aspect so that I could, show up with my cup full. I don't want to show up with an empty cup because then I don't have anything to give, right? But that affirmation definitely means that to me that, you just have to stay ready so you can always be ready and fix yourself. Don't lose yourself trying to accomplish the things that you think you should have.
I love that. And shout out to Mom as well too. I got to meet her, amazing person. She got her book out. I love anytime she's doing something, she makes sure she tags me. We have our little conversation in DM, but you have a strong support system. And I love, you see the House of London, the aura you guys bring from, like, I remember my birthday, like anytime I see you guys, it's like an aura you guys bring, and already it speaks in volumes before you even say a word. How important is teamwork and, like being the head, the leader of understanding others and making sure, because you said before, like sometimes you always want the best out of people, but in reality, not everybody wants the best out of themselves. So it's kind of hard to push it on people. But as leaders and entrepreneurs and like the person that is the lead of everything, it's difficult.
It is.
How do you deal with it?
Each of those girls brings something totally different to the atmosphere. I don't think any two of them are the same at all. But we establish respect first and foremost, and we love after. Anybody can love on you, you know what I mean? Anybody could say they have love for you, they want the best for you, but if people don't respect you, first of all, if you don't respect yourselves, you're not going to get the respect that you deserve, right? But those girls are peculiar, they're different, and people don't believe me when I say we don't have problems. 13 Black girls working together in a salon, and we don't have drama at all. And we've been working together over a year strong. And I have more people that are reaching out to join the team, but I don't have the space. You know what I mean? But being the head of that particular establishment, it makes me feel like I've accomplished something great because I've changed the narrative of what we're used to, especially in a beauty industry like this. When you hear about a Black-owned salon, you only think of, a few things. You think of unprofessionalism, you think of drama. You don't, when you come there, it's like a state-of-the-art, salon. You get the best of everything. From the moment you DM somebody, you get top-notch service. You come in the door, you leave, it's the same thing. You know what I mean? And I feel like we wanna keep that position, and we're just making plans right now to growing to being better. But everybody there is their own boss. They work at House of London, but they don't work for House of London. So I definitely established that in the beginning because I want them to work on themselves personally and for their businesses. At the end of the day, anybody can leave. And then what do I have if I just depend on them to keep my business, right? But I just tell them that when it's time for you to leave, you will know that it's time for you to leave. And when you leave, I don't want you to leave here and go back to your house. Not that anything is wrong with working in your house because that's where it started. But you don't elevate to go backwards. When you guys leave here, I want you to own your own businesses. Or even if you want to own a House of London by LX Chance, or a House of London by Shen's Head, or a House of London by Beauty by Nature. You know what I mean? I'm setting up the foundation for anybody that comes under me to be as great as I am going to be.
Now, one thing, Max, I want to dive into this part. You talked about how you're able to get an investor to help you. And I know there's so many people that are probably sleeping or sitting on great ideas, and all they need is a little help. How did you prepare yourself to be able to get into the rooms and have these conversations to get an investor to believe in your dream and get it to where it's at today?
The foundation was already laid. You know what I mean? My investor, he watched me work for a very long time before approaching me with the bag. Like, I didn't just, you know what I mean? I didn't even know who he was. I didn't know anything about him. But I was ready. When I was put in the same room to meet him, I was already working. I was already pushing. I was already doing the most, you know what I mean, for my business. And that's the only way you're going to get it. People are not just freeing up money like that left, right, and center if you don't have the word. He didn't invest in the business. He invested in me because without me, there's no business, right? If he invested in the business, then during the pandemic, we wouldn't have anything. But me, I'm a go-getter. Like, I make sure things happen. You know what I mean? Even if it doesn't matter what the circumstances are, like, we're always going to do well because I'm going to make sure that we do well at the end of the day. But if you want investors, you want people to believe in you, you want people to invest in you. Even if you go to the bank, you have to show them. You have to show them what have you done from then to now. If you have a business plan with words on it, that's cool. But I want to see what you've done from then to now. And that's what you have to do. You have to get yourself ready so you can be ready when the opportunity comes. Because opportunities are out there. People reach out to me all the time to invest, to do things. But if you're not ready, you're not gonna get anything. Nothing's gonna happen for you. And it's not good too to just make decisions on impulse because you see money. It's never good. And even in my growing stages of my business, I made a lot of mistakes just acting off of impulse because I want something now, and I'm just happy that I was able to save my relationships and not burn bridges in the process. But at the end of the day, you have to make decisions that are best for you, right? And even in that process, but it's good to keep your face card good so it doesn't decline anywhere.
I love it, and that's that go-getter mindset.
For sure.
Of Max, you always talk about it, like if you are looking for investors or if you have an idea, like eventually if you do the work and stuff, it will prepare, like everything will align. Like somebody will pop up and be like, hey, like let's go out to eat, let's talk about your business. Then there you have it right there. There's a conversation.
Word of advice, because I myself, I do invest in businesses, and I know a few people that invest in businesses myself, and often people think it's always about the business, but most investors invest in the people because they got to know that when my money's on the line, because that's what means something to them. That's what these investors, and like she just mentioned, if it was just about the pandemic, things would have not been going well for her investor. But some people invest in relationships, invest who you are as a person, because everybody has a great business idea. Everything sounds like it's a great idea. It's off the wall. It's gonna take off, right? But it comes to the point where people look at you as a person, right, and they make that decision. That I'm entrusting you with what's something that I work hard for. However it means people got their money, but they're willing to put it on you to make sure they see some type of growth or some type, at its very worst, no loss. But that's what it really is all about. So sometimes it's not just about having a great idea, it's who you are as a person. And just even hearing her talk about her leadership skills among her team, like, you never hear this. There's two kinds of leadership. There's people who are goal focused and work focused, right? We have the task leadership, and then we have the relationship leadership. It's difficult to have that in place, and hearing how she deals with her team and how things are going. Whenever you have a leader that cares about the interpersonal relationships between her team and goal and task oriented, like, you can't go wrong. So I mean, I'm pretty sure her investor is happy. I'm pretty sure if anybody got anybody to invest in just like herself, who's about growth and at the same time doing what matters, then that's all it's all about. But like I just said, make sure that it's who you are as a person. When we're talking about angel investors investing in you, it's not just about your business. There's other great business idea, but it comes down to who you are as a person.
I love it. Lots of gems you guys are getting this episode. And once again, I encourage everyone, we're on YouTube Live. So as soon as you get into the YouTube Live, click that like button, have a comment. Right now, we're sitting at about 238 subscribers. So I want to get to 250 by the end of the day. So if you haven't subscribed to our YouTubers already, make sure you head to YouTube. We all have YouTube. We all watch videos. Click that Motivation Mondays. Turn on post notifications, because this platform is important. I tell people all the time when I talk to my boys, like, this platform is so important to me because I need to hear this on the weekly. If I don't hear this on the weekly, I'm going to get like lost. I can easily get like, I need this. So
I'm proud of you guys too. Like, you guys have come a long way. This is episode what?
A long time, but episode on YouTube was very.
We passed 2 years of nonstop Monday. We've been 31 on YouTube, but we all know how our IG started. We started an IG in the pandemic.
This will be 100 and something, 120 right now.
I think the show that I was on, was it like the third show?
No, that was
the Atlanta special.
The
Atlanta special. No matter where we at. That was a live.
It was our first.
But that was early on.
It was early.
That was early on.
We weren't even on YouTube yet.
Wow.
It's growth. You know what I mean? Just start. Start off as a IG live TV, trying to make it work in a pandemic in our homes. No haircuts. We're looking like, but we make it work.
I went back to some of the old videos, like, oh my goodness.
It's growth. And it's those moments you look back and say, yeah, I'm proud of who I am and where I am today. So wherever it is that you are, you're thinking about a great idea, just sitting down. It's like, what's that commercial that always just come on BT? You're sitting at home doing anything anyways. You know what I mean? Like, get started. Get started.
And I know we got to bring this up because today we're actually going to post the instructions. I know we've been talking about it, but somebody's going to win this laptop. It's a Google Chromebook. It's still here. It's live and direct. Somebody's going to win this, an entrepreneur. Literally, this is for our 2-year anniversary. So this is our gift for everybody supporting us. You just gotta follow us on TikTok, follow us on IG, share the post on your stories, and then we'll pick the winner on May 28th, I believe, the end of the month. So make sure you guys tune in. And okay, perfect. I see the subscribers going 2 more people. Let's head to that.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, no,
I'm not playing with it. We have to get
somebody
those.
that could be the answer there. Like, you know what I mean? You want to keep track of your books. You need Excel doc. You're talking about, I'm going to start my business when I get a laptop. I'm going to work. There's your chance. There's your opportunity. Opportunity comes knocking. Jump at opportunities like you jump to conclusions.
I like that.
Yo, he's good, bro. He's easy. Oh my goodness. You started your class, like you've taken the hair business to another level. So kudos to you, even from the branding to the inside of your place. Now, I can't speak as a female, Max can't, we can't speak as a female. We understand that in life, things happen. Women go through stuff, just like how men go through stuff. But you know, you guys are like the lovers, the carers, the mom role. Like, how is it dealing with life in itself and then having to put the entrepreneur cap on to make sure everything else goes on? And even if things are going wrong outside or in life, you still got to make sure things are happening.
To be honest, I don't have the perfect response for that because I'm still learning how to do that. You know,
You make it look good, so you make it look good.
I always say I don't look like what I'm going through. You know. Hopefully when I come back on here, I would be complete with everything that I have going on so I can share a better story than today, you know, because like Max said earlier.
No, we love it. We love it. It's
no, but like Max said, you have some people out there that will only ever be focused on the finished product. They want to see the finished product, right? But where I am today is just a tip of the iceberg of where I'm about to be. I wear many hats. A lot of hats, but I'm proud of each of those, right? And I'm still learning. So like I said, I don't have the perfect answer for that, but every day I'm growing. Every day I'm learning how to do it better. I ask questions now. Before I never used to ask questions. I just, you know what I mean? I know I speak very well, articulate. I may seem like a very like, you know, but I'm more of a listener. I'm very reserved, you know, unless I'm pushed to get help or ask a question, I don't do it. And that was one of my mistakes too. And I feel like that's the reason why I kind of had to wing it myself, because I was afraid to ask for help or ask people, how do I do this? How do I do that? I suffer from really bad anxiety, by the way. Like, I hate crowds, which is why I don't club like that. I only come out on special occasions. The world has made me very to myself. You know, I love my people. And my people that's pretty much it for me. The girls at my shop, they get the best of me. My family, they get the best of me. My personal friends, they get the very best of me. But outside of that, I'm very to myself.
I love you. Tourists are coming in right now into the comments. The true tourists, we wear every hat. And I didn't even know she was a tourist. So
I stand that too.
I love that how it's coming. And I want to use this moment for everyone. Feel free. I know somebody wants to ask you a question. Use this time we're going to use this as a question period. We have a question box on our IG lives. We have a feed on YouTube. Feel free to ask some questions. There may be something on your mind, on your head that you want to ask about the business, how you started, anything. Feel free, because like you said, asking questions is so important, because if you don't ask the questions, you won't get the answer. And if you do ask a question, it's only two. You either get a yes, you get a no, or you find out something you didn't know.
You go somewhere else and ask a different questions until you get what it is that you're looking for. You know, being that is a Mother's Day special, like, you know, like Ibom said, you know, we're not mothers. I'm not a father either. And just being a mother, like, you know, there's so much things that you deal with. You know, there's biological change, right? There's obviously change in the body. There's social change. You know, now you're a mother, and, you know, society look at you as a mother before anything. Your friends, you may not be able to connect with your friends all the time. And there's a change in self-worth. You know, there's this myth where you're no longer as a person. Now it should be all about your child, which is true to an extent, but you are a human being, you are as an individual, and you said it earlier, you can't pour for an empty cup, right? So if you want to give your child the best, you got to make sure you are your best. So just for the mothers out there, you know, happy Mother's Day from Motivation Monday team. Understand that we get what it is that you're going on. We're aware, you know. We just wanted to have a mother on the platform to share her experience, you know. So, you have a question?
Yes. What's your why?
My why? I never thought of that. That's a good
Deep
question.
It's a good question.
Definitely made me think. I would have to say my family. You know, I migrated here alone, and then it was very important for me to include my family. You know, I started with them and I feel like I have to finish with them. No matter how I finish, I need them. You know what I mean? I need my family. I need my mom. One of my childhood best friends, she lost her mom the other day. It was super like abrupt. It was like a really, you know, like a left field. And even today is her birthday. Happy birthday, Brittany.
Happy birthday, Brittany.
She posted a photo of herself with her mom's ashes, and oh my gosh,
We got this, and our condolences as well to Brittany as well too.
I'm a crybaby.
Take your time.
Can I get some napkin, please? I don't want my eyeliner to I don't think my mom gets enough credit, you know, for what she is to me.
We gotta make sure. Shout out to our guy
you.
Wavy.
Yeah, I don't think, you know, mothers in general, I don't think we get enough credit for, you know, who we are and what we are. You know, even when I was going through what I went through back home, right or wrong, you know, when I got arrested, when I went to jail, when the police came to my door, you know, the government seized all my things, I was broke. Like, my mom was there, you know, and whew,
No, you got this.
seeing my best friend post that photo with her mom as ashes, you know, like last year it was a photo with her and her mom, you know, this year it's a photo with her and her mom's ashes. So it's like, I feel like we lose the importance of why we do it, and it's for family, it's for the people that we love, it's for the people that is gonna have our back regardless, you know. We're so focused on material things. Like me, I don't care for none of that stuff. Like, yeah, I get my hair done, my nails done, I take pride in the way that I dress, the way that I keep myself, but I could care less about anything that doesn't have to do with my growth. When I was on here the last time, you know, I mentioned that I don't buy designer. I've never ever spent $1 that I made on anything designer. And I'm not knocking people that do, but I just feel like it's so much that I have to do and I still want to do for my family. And I haven't accomplished that yet, you know? And my why will always be them. My why will always be my son. My why will always be my brothers. My why will always be my mother, because she is my literal best friend, you know? Everything that I am is because of her. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here today at all. I don't think I would have had perfect mental health if it weren't for her. Because I'm 30, but I've been through enough for a 50-year-old. You know, but I push hard every day so that I can make sure that I can be able to provide for my family. You know, even with dating, it's hard because I'm so dedicated to my family, you know, but I don't want to be that person that gives up on my personal wants and needs because of my family. But anybody that I get involved with, whether it's my friendships, relationships, whatever it may be, they have to understand that my family comes first. I am a mother, I am a sister to my brothers, and I'm a daughter. You know what I mean? Even with my dad being back home, like a simple conversation with him, and you see he's like, you know what I mean? He's making a trip for my birthday, so he's gonna be in 2020 with us on the 20th, turning up for my birthday, you know. And I don't care who comes or who's not there. My dad's there, my mom's there, and we're lit, you know. But my why is definitely family. It's them, you know. And anything that I get for me, I need 5 more for them. And it's always gonna be that, you know. And until I can be able to provide for me and 5 for them, I'm chilling. That's just what it is.
I love it. I don't think it gets no better than that. And it's, you know, Will just came in. You don't even notice, but we're in the barbershop talking about, we were actually applauding you guys about, and it's funny because I'm going to bring it up because he just came into the live, but we were talking about how you changed the game with classes, teaching. And I remember when you first started posting about it, and now your classes are like, you don't even have too much room. And we were there applauding him, like, yo, because he's like, yo, we got to start. I'm like, bro, you don't see London, you don't see how the girls are doing it. Like, bro, and he's like, yo, I know, like, she's sick. But sometimes you don't know that your company and your blessings are being spoke about in other places, you know? So keep going, keep posting, keep elevating your brand. And I love how you empower all the women. Like, I've seen the growth from all of them, literally from how they post. Even this morning when I woke up, all of them made sure they posted the video, tag. I'm like, look at that. The whole team is coming and represent to let them know. And that's what I love. Because, you know, we can't do this all by ourselves. And, you know, I applaud all the women out there that are, you know, just being a woman in itself is a lot. Like, we need you guys so much. And we appreciate you guys. We understand it's not easy, and that's why we said we wanted you on this platform to share some gems, share some insights. I think you did touch everything, literally, from understanding self, purpose, passion, and finances. Like, you know, and we're still figuring out each and every day. So I'm not gonna say too much. My guy Max, before anything, one last thing. If there's something that you could tell your younger self, a piece of advice, what would it be?
I would say slow motion is better than no motion.
You know, it's crazy. The reggae song came, pin, pin. The rhythm just.
You know, I would definitely say take your time. Take your time with anything, everything. Don't let nobody rush you, take you out of your comfort zone. I feel like my life sped up super fast for me. You know, I had to become that person.
It's that go-getter mindset.
I had to become that person. And so, you know, but definitely slow motion. You're gonna get there, but take your time and get there. Make the right decisions, ask questions, you know, figure things out, feel things out, and learn to say no. I have a problem with saying no. I don't say no much, you know. I feel like I'm what's the word I'm looking for? It starts with a C.
Care?
I'm very overcompensating. I love to compensate. I guess that's the hospitality in me. From being a nurse to being a manager in a hotel to now running my own businesses, I'm big on hospitality because I know the way I want to be treated, especially when I'm spending my money. You know, so I would definitely say learn to say no, mind your business, and slow motion. You know, take your time and go through life. You know, we don't have to figure it out in a day. Take your time, figure it out. You know, stop getting into things just to please other people, like to do, you know what I mean? Take your time, do what it is that you really, really want to do things that you love, find your passion, find your purpose, learn how to separate the two and inventory the people that you're around, put them in their respective places where they're supposed to be. A lot of people don't even have my number because you don't need to have that type of access to me. Shoot me a message on Instagram, my assistant will get to you. And that's not me being cocky or arrogant, but I'm at a place in my life where I don't need to be accessible to everybody that wants to reach out to me. And I've worked very hard to get here. You know what I mean? And people respect it because they see the respect that I have for myself at the end of the day. So take your time and, you know, create a narrative for yourself, even if everything is not really real, you know? Sometimes you gotta fake it a little till you make it, but don't ever exaggerate too much to the point where it's hard for you to catch up, or you have to be a totally different person in person from the person that they see on Instagram, you know? So that
you want to play catch up again.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
But I love it. I want to say this before I ask Max any last feedbacks. Keep going, London. I'm so glad you finally got a platform to speak your truth because so many business owners are so misunderstood.
Yes.
And that makes us know that today's episode was exactly what we needed. Any last words before we leave, Max?
If you take away from this episode, I say, like she said, don't rush the process, trust the process. You know what I mean? Be careful who you become in pursuit of what you want. Don't lose yourself, because in the end, there's nobody else to look around, and just be mindful, right? Just be mindful. You got to work on the boundaries thing. Remember what we always talk about: saying no to others and saying yes to yourself, right? You can't pour from an empty cup, right? So thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate all the love and support.
Before we go, let them know where they can find you on social media, your websites, your businesses, and all of that before we get out of here.
You can follow me on Instagram at House of London Inc. Once you get to House of London Inc., you'll see the tag for my school, which is HOL Academy. And we're actually booked for the summer semester.
Let's go.
Thank you for everybody that booked with us for classes. But everything's there. You can reach me there. My emails, my contacts for the office. Reaching my assistant is just as good as reaching me. So, yeah, it's House of London Inc.
I love it. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This wraps up today's episode. Thank you so much for coming. I told you, I got flowers. I'm going to tag you when I get home. I'm going to tag you the flowers. But we're giving you your flowers right now.
Thank you.
And then we have flowers for you. That I left, that's my fault.
Yes,
I was trying to do too much. Don't rush. You have to take time. So
I appreciate the connection. You know what I mean? I don't really... Thank you for the thought. But the connection with you and Max, it means a lot more to me than flowers.
Love always. Yes. And your birthday's coming up, so don't worry.
Don't worry,
We're there. But that wraps it up, ladies and gentlemen. There may be some people joining us right now. You can watch this on YouTube. It's streaming on all platforms. We have people listening all over the world. India they're in double digits now. So shout out to our people in India that keep tuning in. And yeah.
Shout out to my dad.
Shout out. I encourage everybody to go back and watch it again, because sometimes it takes a while for an idea